Hey everyone, and welcome back to Reddit Family Tales. Today, we're rediving into a story that really makes you question where the line is drawn when it comes to family obligations. It's a situation where one person was put in an impossible position, asked to sacrifice everything for a family member who, frankly, didn't seem to deserve it. The title says it all. My family demanded I sell my house to bail out my sister when I refused. Let's get right into it. So, our storyteller, let's call her Sarah, starts by explaining her background. She's always been the responsible one in her family, while her younger sister, let's call her Chloe, was the golden child. Sarah was the one who worked hard, saved her money, and eventually bought her own house at a young age. This house wasn't just a building to her. It was her sanctuary, the result of years of sacrifice, working double shifts, and saying no to nights out with friends. It was the physical manifestation of her independence and hard work. Her family, especially her parents, never seemed to appreciate her efforts. They always compared her to Chloe, who could do no wrong in their eyes. Even when Chloe made questionable choices, her parents were quick to make excuses for her. Sarah learned early on to rely only on herself. The trouble started, as it often does, with a phone call. Sarah's mom called her, frantic and in tears. Chloe had gotten into serious trouble. Apparently, she and her boyfriend had been involved in some very shady business dealings, and now Chloe was facing significant legal consequences and a massive fine. Her parents had already drained their savings trying to help, but it wasn't nearly enough. That's when the bombshell dropped. Her mother, between sobs, told Sarah that the family needed her to help. Sarah was confused. She had a modest savings account, but nothing that could solve a problem of this magnitude. "No, sweetie," her mother said. "We need you to sell your house." Sarah was stunned into silence. Sell her house, the home she had poured her blood, sweat, and tears into, for her sister, who had never shown her an ounce of respect and was now in trouble because of her own poor decisions. It felt like a punch to the gut. She tried to explain that it was an unreasonable request. This was her home, her security, her future. Her parents wouldn't hear it. The conversation quickly turned from a desperate plea to an angry demand. "She's your sister. Family helps family, no matter what." Her dad yelled over the phone. They accused her of being selfish, of hoarding her success while her sister was suffering. They reminded her of all the sacrifices they made for her growing up, conveniently forgetting that they had always favored Chloe. The pressure was immense. Her phone blew up with calls and texts from her parents, her aunts, her uncles. Everyone was calling her a traitor to the family. They painted her as a cold-hearted villain for refusing to become homeless to solve a problem her sister created. Chloe herself even sent a text that simply said, "I guess I know where I stand. Thanks for nothing." This is where Sarah had to make a choice. For years, she had craved her family's approval, always feeling like the outsider. A part of her desperately wanted to give in, just to make the yelling stop and maybe, finally, be seen as a good daughter and sister. But then she looked around her home, at the walls she had painted, the garden she had planted, the life she had built for herself. Brick by brick, she realized that sacrificing her home wouldn't just be a financial loss, it would be a betrayal of herself. It would be telling herself that her hard work, her dreams, and her well-being were less important than her sister's mistakes. It would reinforce the family dynamic she had fought so hard to escape, that her role was simply to clean up everyone else's messes. With a heavy heart but a clear conscience, Sarah made her final decision. She sent a group text to her parents and sister. She wrote, "I love you, but I will not be selling my house. This is my home, and my answer is final. I am willing to help Chloe find resources, like legal aid or counseling, but I will not set myself on fire to keep her warm." As you can imagine, the fallout was explosive. Her parents told her she was no longer welcome in their home and that she had disowned the family. They cut off all contact for a while. Sarah felt a profound sense of loss and isolation. The silence from her family was deafening, but slowly something else started to grow in that silence: peace. She no longer had to walk on eggshells. She no longer had to endure constant criticism or unfair comparisons. She was free. She started to build a found family with friends who celebrated her success and supported her boundaries. She realized that true family isn't just about blood. It's about mutual respect, love, and support. Months later, she heard through a cousin that Chloe had managed to get a plea deal, avoiding the worst of the consequences but still having to pay a significant debt over many years. Her parents were still financially strained from the ordeal. Sarah felt a pang of sadness for them, but not regret. She knew she had made the right choice for herself. Her story is a powerful reminder that family is not a blank check to be cashed at your expense. You are allowed to have boundaries, even with the people you love. Protecting your own peace and security is not selfish. It's necessary. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to say no, even when it's the hardest word to say. What do you all think? Was Sarah right to refuse? What would you have done in her shoes? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's a tough situation, and I'm really interested to hear your perspectives. Thank you so much for joining me for another story. If you enjoyed this and want to hear more, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Your support means the world. Stay strong, protect your peace, and we'll see you in the next one.